So in this video, I'm going to show you how I run 25 different faceless YouTube channels with the channels that are already profitable, the channels we're just starting, testing, everything combined is around about 25 channels. And this video, I'll show you everything from the whole team setup to the account setup, everything you need to know to be able to do the exact same thing. Now, for the people who don't know who I am, I'm Stefan, 23 years old, made hundreds of thousands of dollars with faceless YouTube channels. There at the back, you can also see some of my play buttons, and I've helped hundreds of other people do the same thing. For example, here Martins, who have helped to make $31,000 in one single month. Here student, $12,000 in a single month. Here different one, $24,000 in a single month, and many, many more. Here one going viral in like literally 2 weeks, one getting monetized in 20 days, and many, many more. You guys can stop the video and read through all of these. Now, if you're interested in, getting similar results, check out the first link in the video description, book a completely free call with me, and we'll have a look if it makes sense to work together. Now, that being said, I would say let's get right into it. Let's first look at the whole team setup so you guys exactly know, like, hey, how do I actually build up my team, and how can you do that for yourself as well? So firstly, where do we hire, right? Because that's a big question many people always ask. So for thumbnail designers, you will find the best thumbnail designers on X, on Fiverr, or on Upwork. These are the places where I kind of had the best luck with very, very good thumbnail designers. For scriptwriters, I usually hire them from Upwork, or, you can also just use AI for your scripts. That's what I'm doing very often these days, just using AI to write our scripts. Why? Because it's very fast, and the scripts are in most cases very decent if you know how to write the scripts. All right. Then for the voiceover artists, we use Fiverr or 11 Labs. 11 Labs is a AI voiceover generator. Most of you guys will probably know that. Or we can also use here Gen AI Pro, which I'll link in the video description. It's just like kind of a cheap version of 11 Labs. So here you can get like 1 million credits for $22. Very cheap. The voiceovers are still very good though, so good to use. Then we have video editor. Where do we find them? I usually find my video editors here from Upwork or on X, and these days I actually also hire here from YouTube. So I use my personal brands to hire video editors directly through that. Just easier, but if you don't have that, obviously you don't need that, then you can hire through Upwork or on X. On X, you will find more advanced video editors, so they will be a little bit more expensive. On Upwork, you will find rather, basic video editors in most cases, but basic is more than enough, all right? More than enough. I don't work with any video editors from X. Why? Because my channels are very basic to run, all right? Then for channel managers, you can either, use one of your friends. You can hire them from Upwork, or you can use one of your freelancers. Usually they're very good. What you want to have a look at is that the freelancer is actually accountable, right? Very important that the freelancer is accountable. For me, for example, it was an old video editor that kind of turned into a channel manager, and yeah, works very great. You can kind of choose which kind of freelancer you want to use. It's completely up to you. As long as it is actually a freelancer that constantly wants to improve and is super accountable. All right, this is very important. And then, yes, so let's look at the team structure. Now, this is something many people are struggling with, so that's something we'll look at now. So here at the top, it's me, right? Then we have channel managers, all right, right here. These are basically people, let me just write it like this, manager, and then here editors. Now, the channel managers are basically people that kind of control and manage the team. Just as an example, a restaurant manager manages the people that work in the restaurant. Exact same thing for what we do, all right? Now, we have channel managers, and every channel manager has a specific count of video editors. You can choose what works best for you. You can give them 10 video editors. You can give them 1 video editor, however you want to do it. Now, the cool thing with channel managers is that they will actually go ahead and make sure that the videos are on time. They answer most of the basic questions. So, for example, here, this video editor will ask something here. So normally what would happen is the video editor would ask me directly. Now, what happens these days is they don't ask me directly anymore. So I don't have to sit with my phone the whole day and answer questions. That's why I also have the time to film these videos right here. Now what happens now is they actually go ahead and they ask their channel manager, and these guys in most cases have been working with me for a while, so they already know what to do and they know how to answer the basic questions. So they will answer all questions that these guys have during the day, and if there's something they don't know, they will actually go ahead and ask me that question, all right? But due to kind of working this way, I eliminate kind of sitting on my phone the whole day, just answering questions and also chasing freelancers, because I don't do the chasing now anymore. My channel managers actually chase the freelancer to make sure that the video is done on time, all right? They will also go ahead and upload the video. Now, do the channel managers also kind of choose the video topics and these things? Absolutely no, right? Why? Because choosing video topics and choosing niches, just as an example, is the most important skill with YouTube automation, and that's something you have to learn, right? So I do all of the video topic choosing and all of these things, and the channel managers handle the rest, okay? Now, what does the channel manager earn? So a channel manager usually earns on average 5% of the channel revenue that they're working on, right? So if you're making, for example, $10,000 a month, the channel manager is getting $500 a month, all right? Now, if your channel is not making money yet, I would actually give them a base salary just to, make sure that they're also making money. Now, we also have a head of content. Now, this is actually a guy that kind of helps out the editors if they have any questions for the editing platform. You guys know that Premiere Pro, just as an example, often has a bunch of issues. So he's there to help them out with any technical issues, all right? Not only that, he's also there to make sure that the new editors be on board, immediately know exactly what to do. And then he does the quality control. He makes sure that all of the videos are up to standard, and that, if there are videos that are not up to standard, he will actually, do revisions and make sure that everything is always good to go. Then we also have a different kind of team, right, which we mainly use for testing, right? This is kind of the team that is very, very broad, okay? They can literally work on anything, like no joke, anything. And here we have again me, right? We have manager. And then we have again the editors, all right? Now, what we do is, I've explained like multiple times, like the whole niche testing framework. So I will go ahead, I will find a niche, then I'll send the channel manager the video topics, and he handles the editors and make sure that we get videos as fast as just possible so we can post them then, right? And then if we see that the channel actually works, we then move the channel over to these kind of people. Now this manager right here actually gets a normal base salary on my side, all right? So this is kind of my testing team. And then we have my team that is kind of always kind of running the channels that, are already making money, if that makes sense. So this is kind of the whole team structure and how I work with my team. I think this is kind of the best way you can do it. Now, if you ask me, where are we kind of not negotiating, but communicating on? So many people, just as an example, use Trello, but we use, for example, Google Sheets to kind of track all of our videos and everything, just because it's the easiest way also for the editors. Most of them know exactly how to use Google Sheets. And then what we have is we have a WhatsApp group with, for example, the channel manager and the head of content and me. So we have a WhatsApp group for every single channel to make sure that we always know about what channel are we actually speaking about. Now, you can also do this on Slack, on Discord, on all of these kind of different platforms. I prefer WhatsApp because it's just for me very quickly to kind of, answer questions, give instructions, all of these things. WhatsApp is for me way easier. And through WhatsApp, I can also make sure that everyone sees it very quickly, okay? So this is kind of the team setup, very simple. I always like to keep things as simple as just possible. Why? Because simplicity scales, all right? Then we have the account setup. Now, how do we actually set up our account, and how do we actually protect our channels from day one? Firstly, we use different email addresses for every single YouTube channel we create. I see too many people that create a bunch of different YouTube channels on one single email. That is extremely dangerous, all right? Because if one channel gets, taken down, all of these channels on that email are also getting taken down. Then we use different AdSense accounts, okay? Now that could, for example, I don't know if I can speak on it on YouTube, but we can use, for example, family members to create AdSense accounts. So every single account has a different AdSense account, okay? Why? Again, the exact same thing. We don't want our accounts to link together, because if one gets hit, all of them get hit, and you don't want that to happen to you. Then we use different browsers. That is also something you can do. And then we use different Chrome profiles. All right. So if you click here, you can kind of open up a different Chrome profile. All right. This is the main way how I kind of differentiate or kind of make sure that my channels are not connected. And I've been running YouTube channels for very, very long. Never had any problems with any IP, anything like that. All right. Now, what accounts do we actually need to warm up? And by the way, for the IP stuff, we'll get to proxies and all of these things in a second. What accounts do we actually need to warm up? So we get obviously 8 new accounts, aged accounts. Then we get here, for example, personal accounts. We get, what's it called? Pre-monetized, just as an example. Now, what accounts would I use firstly, and what accounts do you need to warm up? So you need to warm up new accounts and aged accounts. Personal accounts are the most powerful accounts. We don't need to warm up. Pre-monetized, we also don't need to warm up, but I would not recommend to use pre-monetized accounts because you have to buy them. They are expensive. And, if the account fails, then, the money is gone. So yeah. Now, how to actually go ahead and warm up your account? Very simple. We use it as a normal user. We watch 1 to 2 hours of content per day to kind of, make sure that YouTube sees like, hey, there's a human behind the account. Then we subscribe, like, and comment to different YouTube channels, different YouTube videos. But here it's, again, very important that we don't act like a bot and we don't spam comments, like, subscriptions. We don't want to spam it because YouTube is going to flag our account and think we're a bot. All right. And then YouTube is not going to push out our channel. Then do this for 1 week plus to lower the risk of a low trust score. This is obviously not 100%, but it can help a lot when you want to start a new channel. Yes. Now, quick note, always have 1 to 2 channels warmed up and ready to go. So you're always good to go whenever you have a new niche, because obviously there is speed. All right. We need speed. Then we have proxies. Now, this is something we need to talk about, all right? There are so many people that believe that they are some kind of a shadow banned. I can promise you that 0.0001% of the people that are actually watching this video are shadow banned on YouTube, all right? In most cases, you guys just don't know how to pick a niche, don't know how to pick video topics, you don't know these things, or you're not doing it correctly. And that is why you're not getting views. I have, and I don't know if I can say it here, but I have gotten channels banned. I've gotten channels, like, I've gotten all of these things, but it still works. And I'm still working on the same device. So stop focusing on proxies and start focusing on actually building a really, really good channel. Start focusing on niche research and all of these things to be then actually able to build a channel. This is not going to solve the problem that you're not getting views. Okay. I just wanted to say that because this is really like a trend that has been going on YouTube, and obviously it makes sense to get it somewhere down the line. But if you've never had a channel that's kind of successful, you don't need that. All right, you really don't need it. Yeah. So if your IP is banned, like, you've probably done something completely wrong on YouTube. Okay. But yeah, this is kind of my whole team setup and how I kind of separate my accounts. And like I said, this has been pretty safe for me. I always look that I kind of follow, the guidelines and don't go against the guidelines the whole time, because that's where you're going to need proxies. And that's where you're going to go the completely wrong direction, because, I build channels for the long term. I'm not going to build some trendy channels anymore where then later on need proxies and give myself a bunch of problems. We want to build channels for the long term. And if you separate your accounts exactly like I explained in this video, you'll be 100% good to go in the long term. All right. Now, again, If you're interested in working close with me, getting the same results as all of these people and many, many more, then check out the first link in the video description, book a call with me. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.